I be real with you guys? I mean, like, really be real, all right? Because on my channel, that's what I bring, all right? Realness. Well, tonight for this Wisdom Wednesday, we are going to talk about seasons, all right? It's not going to be lengthy, but please stay with me. We have to know that we have different seasons in our lives, all right? Just like the Lord has created the seasons for the earth, we have seasons, all right? We have a time where we go through the winter, where we could have some cold in our life, where we will have barren things in our life, where we will have trees that need to be cut down and leaves that are going to be falling off, all right? And that is the time where, you just need to be a little secluded, all right? Then we have times such as spring in our lives, where new things are coming into our lives, where joy is being restored, where the sun never stops shining, where blessings are abundant and everywhere, where the rain yields fruit, all right, where the rain just gives so much abundance and everything in our lives flourish, all right. Then there's a time where we go through the summer. All right. And in the summertime, it's a time to be excited. It's a time to be jovial. It's a time to rejoice because it's a new time. It's a new season. All right. It's a hot time. It's a time where things are flourishing, but it's also a time where things are caliente, all right? Scorching. Things are hot. Things are heating up. Things are boiling. Things are getting extremely great in our lives, all right? And things are sizzling. Then there's a time where things need to cool down, all right? Things need to just kind of slow down. We got to pace ourselves. We have to go with the season. We have to calm it down, all right? We have to know that we are shedding our old skin and we are putting on, all right, new skin, all right. And did you know that your skin actually sheds, all right, just like your hair, all right? So it's like, you're shedding the old you and you're coming into a new you, okay? So just as the earth has multiple seasons, so do we. So I'm here tonight to simply remind you that life is about different seasons, all right? And if we are not aware as to what season we're in, we can miss out on God's goodness because in every season there is good, all right? So it's up to you to have your mind in the right frame, in the right space, so that you can maximize on the season that you're in, okay? So it's so interesting, but there's also a time where we need to sow in life, and then there's a time where we will reap in life. So I love to go back to the season, all right? I love to go back to winter. I love to think about summer. All right. Summer is the time where you sow. You sow because the ground is fertile. So you're going to put as much work and as much effort into the seed that you need to plant into the soil. Then you're going to water the soil because the seed will not grow if the soil is not conducive for the seed. All right. So we need to know what season we're in because if we don't, we can miss the door, the opportunity that God has for us. And we don't want to miss the opportunity and then end up blaming God because God is sitting high and looking low at you and at I. And He's saying, I don't know why you're saying the prayer to me about not making it to where I told you where you could be when you sat there and you did not think and you did not look and you did not perceive and understand that you were in the land of opportunity, that this was your season to sow. Okay. But then there is a season as well where it's a time to reap. And it's just as dangerous. If you're in your reaping season and you don't know that that's your season to reap, you will miss out on the harvest. You will miss out on the bountiful goods that God has stored up for you, that the Lord has allowed to grow in your midst. All right. So that beautiful seed that was placed into the ground, that was fertilized, that was watered, all right, the soil was conducive to the seed and the seed grew. There comes a time where now it's time for the hmm, it is time for the reaping. All right, it's time to get the tools in order that you need to go out and to receive what you have sowed. Okay, so I hope you know what season you're in, because in the reaping season, it is a time to, like I said, get yourself together, be prepared, go out there and to reap what you have sown, all right, to gather, all right, because my Lord, it's a, like I said, it's seasons. There is going to come another season where you would have prayed that you would have reaped the prior season, but you didn't. And so now in this new season, you don't have anything because you didn't bring anything from the last season because you did not reap from the last season. And so what happens to to basically, let's just say, let's just talk about mangoes. So what if you have mangoes on the tree and they've grown and it is your season, all right, to reap your mangoes? What happens if you don't get those mangoes? Well, one, a chipmunk might get to it before you do, so somebody could eat your harvest. Two, that mango could go bad on the tree. Okay, the sun could also have at it and it will just end up not looking good. All right, dropping down, bursting open, and just being rotten on the ground. All right. Or three, it'll just shrivel up and die. Today's Wisdom Wednesday is for us to think about, where are we in our season? Is this the season to sow, or is it the season to reap? So I hope that you know the season that you're in, and I hope that you will move accordingly so that you will receive what the Lord has for you, or that you will work, all right, what the Lord needs you to work for a time such as this, so that down the lane, all right, some way down the road, you can receive your harvest. All right. So literally there were times in my life when I was younger that I didn't understand that I was in sowing seasons many of my times, and I was not sowing appropriately. And so when, yeah, and so that happens too. If you are in your sowing season and you simply don't sow, then don't be upset when there's nothing to reap, because how can you receive something that you didn't put in the ground? All right. So I hope that you are taking notes from tonight's Wisdom Wednesday so that your life can be abundant, so that you can receive everything that God has for you. All right. Because, like I'm telling you, there are seasons in our lives, and we have to learn what season we are in. We have to learn how to identify the season that we're in, and then we have to learn how to work, all right, in the season that we're in, because that too is what's interesting, is every season requires work. So if you want to receive what the Lord has for you, you got to put in the work, whether that's in your sowing season or in your reaping season. But in both seasons, you need to work. It's just that in one season, the reaping season is one where you're working and you're seeing it come back. Like, it's like, whoa, it's like clockwork. It's like, oh my gosh, I'm reaping because the work I have to reap to receive it. All right. Even picking the mango off the tree, I have to actively pick it off the tree. But right after I pick off the fruits, I'm able to eat. All right. I'm able to knock on my neighbor's door and say, hey, would you like some mangoes? I'm able to share with others. All right. Even the chipmunks are excited because they get to eat too. All right. So make sure that you know what season you're in, because this video comes tonight as a reminder so you don't, you don't misinterpret the season that you're in. All right. So tonight's Wisdom Wednesday was a little bit different, but God be praised. We have to stay fertile, all right, just like the ground. And we have to be versatile, all right, so that whatever the Lord needs us to be aware of, we can be aware. So, guys, I hope that you are in the best season that the Lord has for you, whether that's your sowing or your reaping season. But I hope that you reap or sow, all right, or sow or reap with a lot of joy, all right, because just know that, yeah, we all have different seasons. And once you're content in your season, that's all that matters. Nobody can come and make you unhappy. Nobody can come and steal your joy. Nobody can come and take your peace because you are in your right season. All right. So, guys, be blessed. I thank you so much for tuning in. I hope that you'll give this video a thumbs up if you literally loved it tonight. All right, go ahead and share this video with friends and family, and I will see you tomorrow night as we hop back in to our Bible study because I'm excited for that. All right, be blessed. Make sure that you don't miss out on your sowing season or your reaping season. I'll see you tomorrow.